Hello there, I've got a game for you. This Eline Roebers, she is a Dutch master, 16 years old. So yeah, from the Netherlands, and she's actually playing against a gentleman from the Netherlands as well. Erwin Leamy is almost a super grandmaster, rated at 26, 27. Eline rated at just 2361, playing the white pieces. Let's go ahead and get right into the game. So we do have the Ruy Lopez or Spanish game. So e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6, and bishop to b5. This is the Ruy Lopez. That's why it's called that for this exact opening. We now have pawn to a6. This is the Morphy defense. Bishop back to a4 by Eline, and now knight to f6 by the grandmaster. This is the Columbus variation. And now Eline goes ahead and castles here as this pawn isn't really hanging. The rook will come. If the knight captures, the rook will come and you end up winning back this pawn. And that's not favorable for black. So this often happens in this position. This is a opening used by the top super grandmasters in the world. We have bishop to e7 by the super grandmaster, and now the pawn is technically hanging. So Eline does go ahead and play rook to e1, as is most often played in this position. And now we have pawn to b5 by the super grandmaster, making this the closed variation. And of course, bishop back to b3 by Eline, and the grandmaster plays pawn to d6 here. We have pawn to c3 by Eline, and now castles by the super grandmaster. Eline moves her pawn to h3, just preventing the bishop from coming to g4. And now we have knight back to b8, which is actually very common in this position. This is the second most common move. This is the Breyer defense by black, looking to reposition that knight, come back to d7 here. Eline plays pawn to d4 here, and the super grandmaster does play knight b to d7. We have knight to d2, as is most often played in the Ruy Lopez, as well. Almost always you have a pawn on c3. And again, this variation has been played many times by the very top grandmasters in the world. In fact, names like Magnus Carlsen, Sergei Kuryakin actually played this exact same opening against Magnus Carlsen in the 2018 World Championship, I believe. And you can see Magnus Carlsen also played this against the former world champion Viswanathan Anand several times in their World Championship bout back in 2013. Yeah, so this is a very popular opening again for the top players in the world. Viswanathan Anand, Sergei Kuryakin, once again a world championship challenger, Boris Spassky, a world champion. So very popular opening and very solid. Super Grandmaster continues with pawn to c5. The Grandmaster continues with pawn to c5, and Eline moves her knight back to f1. Seemingly a bit strange, this journey the knight is taking. Of course, it's going to g3, but yeah, Magnus Carlsen has played this exact same variation. So Eline knows what she's doing. Oh, in fact, I should mention that they've used no time on their clocks. So they start out with time controls, 90 minutes on their clock, and they get 30 seconds per move. And they've actually gained about 10 minutes on their clock at this point, just making super fast moves. They're playing all of this instantaneous. This is rote memory here. We have rook to e8 by the grandmaster, and Eline moves her knight, as we expected, to g3. We have bishop back to f8, as is often played here. A lot of times the bishop becomes fianchettoed on g7. We have bishop back to c2 by Eline here. And I should mention, actually, it did take Eline about 10 minutes to make this move, knight to g3 here, and she spent another 7 minutes thinking about the move bishop to c2. So she is now down about 15 minutes on her clock, but she still has well over an hour. And they do get an additional 50 minutes, 50, after they play 40 moves. And in this position, we did have 6 master games where C captures on D4 was played. There's 2 master games where pawn to G6, preparing for the fianchetto of the bishop. And then we did also have 1 game where bishop to B7 was played here. But in this game, the super grandmaster, well, I should say grandmaster, he's not a super grandmaster, plays queen to C7, which is a bit of an inaccuracy. Best move is actually C captures on D4, but it is as of this move that we have a brand new game, never played in the master ranks. Eline moves her bishop to E3 here, best possible move in the position, and now we have bishop to B7 by the grandmaster. Pawn now to D5 by Eline. This is the best possible move, just grabbing some additional space in the center of the board. Pawn to C4 by the grandmaster. A little more of the same, just grabbing some space on the queen side there. And now knight back to H2 by Eline. Again, best possible move in the position. And now pawn to A5 by the grandmaster. Eline moves her knight to F5 here, and the grandmaster advances his a pawn once again to A4. We have pawn to A3, stopping that pawn's march by Eline, and now king to H8 by the grandmaster. Eline plays the aggressive pawn to G4 here, which is a great way to go in the position. And now we have knight to C5 by the grandmaster. Eline moves her queen to F3 here, best possible move. And we have knight back to G8, seemingly awkward move, but this is the best possible move in the position, according to Stockfish. It seems strange to me to see these guys on their starting square, cornering their king. Can we just get this rook and queen to go away? We can do a smothered mate almost. Well, I guess the knight's there as well, but it just looks like a smothered position here to me. Eline continues with pawn to G5 here. And the grandmaster plays pawn to G6, keeping that pawn from advancing. Eline moves her knight back to G3 once again, and now we have bishop back to E7, which is strange. Like he moved it back, now he's moving it back again, just putting pressure on that pawn against. This is not the best move. This is actually a mistake. He should have played pawn to F6 here. And we will take a look at that variation now. Instead of playing bishop to E7, the grandmaster should have pushed his F pawn to F6. And then we would have pawn to H4, best for white. Bishop then back to C8 would be the best move for black. Queen to G2 then, best for white. And then bring the bishop to G7, which seemed to be the purpose of moving the G pawn in the first place. So yeah, this would have been a better way for the grandmaster to play than the way that he actually played on the chessboard. He would have, had more winning chances in this position. Anyway, let's go back to what actually happened on the chessboard now. Eline now plays pawn to H4, and the grandmaster moves his rook to F8. We have pawn now to H5 by Eline. The grandmaster moves his bishop back to C8 here. And again, just seems funny to me that these pieces keep on ending up on the back rank. But you can see that Eline has way more space in this position. She's just kind of slowly crushing the grandmaster. Queen now to H1 by Eline. This is the best possible move in the position. Seems a bit strange and awkward putting the queen in the corner like that, but again, best possible move in the position. The grandmaster moves his queen to D7 here, and Eline counters with pawn to F4, best possible move, just trying to tear open the position. The grandmaster plays queen to H3 here, trying to shut things down, and Eline plays queen to F3. And this is a mistake. She should have instead played queen to G2, just offering a queen trade. And she would have had an advantage in that position. So we'll take a quick look at that now. So instead, Eline should have played queen to G2 here, offering a queen trade. Best for black then would be to move the knight to D3, attacking the rook. we would have bishop captures on d3, and then pawn captures on d3 would be best for black. Then pawn captures on e5 would be best move for white, and then d captures e5 best for black. Rook now to d, I should say rook a to d1 would be best for white, and then black would need to go ahead and capture the queen. So queen captures g2, king captures g2, and this would have been a better position for Eline than what she actually had on the board. So instead, Eline plays queen to f3, and we'll continue with what actually happened on the chessboard. We have pawn captures, or I should say e captures on f4 by the grandmaster, and this is a mistake. He should not have played that. He should have played pawn to f6. That would have been a better way to play. But in this case, we'll just go ahead and continue with what actually happened on the chessboard. Eline plays the best possible move in the position, although maybe pause your video and think about it. See if you can find this move. It might seem kind of obvious. I don't know. But yeah, take a moment, think about it if you like. Hopefully you've paused your video if that's what you want to do. But yeah, we should always be looking for checking moves. Eline plays bishop to d4 here, check, and this is a pretty crushing blow. A great move by Eline. And the grandmaster plays pawn to f6. Eline plays queen captures on f4, picking up that pawn. And actually, at this point, she is even in material with the grandmaster. We have knight back to d7, trying to defend the position there on f6. Best possible move in the position. And Eline moves her rook to e3, setting up a discovery on the queen here. So if the knight moves, then the queen is going to be under attack. This is the best possible move in the position. The grandmaster moves his knight now to e5, just trying to block the attack against the king here. This is the best possible move in the position. But yeah, we have that discovery. So Eline plays knight to f6. Seems like a crazy move as the knight is under attack a couple times. But as we mentioned, the rook attacks the queen here. So danger levels, you know, the knight is under attack and they could take the knight, but then the queen is lost. So obviously the grandmaster has to do something to save the queen. He plays queen captures h5 here, best possible move. And now we have knight captures on d7, knight captures bishop on d7 by Eline, knight captures knight on d7 by the grandmaster, and now pawn captures on f6, or I should say g captures on f6 by Eline. Again, best possible move. The grandmaster plays pawn to g5, attacking Eline's queen, and now we have bishop captures knight on e5. This is the best possible move in the position, seemingly leaving her queen hanging here. And the grandmaster does capture Eline's queen with g captures on f4. But now we have pawn captures knight on e7, discovered check, also attacking the rook. The grandmaster plays king to g8, best way to play in the position. And now we have pawn captures rook equals q on f8. That's a checking move. The king captures on f8. And now we have bishop captures pawn on d6 by Eline. And at this point, Eline is down to just over 2 minutes on her clock, and the grandmaster has more like 12 minutes. But it's not really going to do him a whole lot of good. And like I said, they're going to get 50 minutes on their clocks here in 2 more moves. The grandmaster rescues his king by moving it to e8, and now we have bishop captures on f4 by Eline. This is the best possible move in the position. Rook now to a7 by the grandmaster, and Eline moves her king to h1 here, just shielding it from any kind of attacks. This was not the best possible move. She should have instead played rook to g3, but this is only being called an inaccuracy. Really, the difference is only about a point. It's saying that if this move that she played, she's up by 4 points. If she would have played rook g3 instead, she would have been up by 5.5 points. So only slightly better, but totally winning in either case. She only had 1 minute and 38 seconds on her clock when she made that move. So she was under some time duress and found a good enough move, not the best move, but a good enough move to win the game. We have rook now to G7 by the grandmaster, and now we do see rook to G1 here by Eline. This is definitely a good way to go. And we have rook captures on G1 by the grandmaster. Of course, king captures on G1 by Eline, as that's forced. And now bishop to G5. G4, that is. Bishop to G4, just kind of trying to block out the position. And we have pawn now to E5 by Eline. Yeah, she's got these connected pawns. She's got the bishop pair. She's got the rook on it. This is, pretty indefensible for black. We have bishop now to F5 by the grandmaster, and Eline goes ahead and swaps bishops with bishop captures on F5. We have queen captures on F5 by the grandmaster, and now bishop back to G3 by Eline. Queen now to B1 by the grandmaster with check. And Eline just blocks with her knight. That's the best possible move in the position. And the grandmaster does resign the game, as there's no way to really continue in this position. Yeah, you can go ahead and win these pawns here, but these pawns are going to be unstoppable. There's no way to continue the game, really. Yeah, you win a couple pawns, but these pawns are in position to start checking the king and driving him out of the way, and she's going to have a queen very soon. In fact, the engine says it's mate in 27, I think it said. So yeah, there's just little hope. So, oh, that's right. If you capture the pawn on B2, it's mate in 27. So it does make sense that this grandmaster, near super grandmaster, does resign the game to 16-year-old Eline Roberts. Anyway, thank you for joining me for that. I hope you enjoyed it. Please like and subscribe, as I will be doing 5 game reviews a week. I'll be doing some basic tactics, some more advanced tactics, also endgame scenarios, beginning chess lessons, all kinds of stuff. So please do join me. And also, if you're interested in taking classes, I do group and individual classes via Zoom. You can email me, link in the description. Anyway, thank you for joining me. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.